What's going on, YouTube, baby? Hey, it's the NFL debut, baby. Sports picks with Big Zay. First NFL game of the season. We got the Rams taking on the Bills. Or should I say the Bills taking on the Rams? Because the Bills are the away team. Rams is the home team. And the thing about it is, the Bills is favored by 2.5 here. And I've been looking at all the stats. I've been looking at the lineups. I'm trying to see where Vegas thinks that the Bills should be favored in this game. I know the Bills is one of the best teams, and the National Football League. I know they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year, but I just don't necessarily know if I totally agree yet. They're gonna have to show me something because, as much as I do like this Bills team, I love the Bills organization. I just don't know if they did enough in the off season to just automatically push them to the number one spot. The Rams are coming off a Super Bowl win, and they did have a couple losses too. They lost Odell Beckham. They lost Von Miller. They got a couple people out on that offensive lineup. With Andrew Whitworth out, no more Austin Corbett. So the Rams got some new people on that team this year. But the thing about it, I just feel like the Rams just got more all-stars. They just got more superstars. Just looking at both teams, like looking at the Bills, they got Josh Allen. He had 4,407 passing yards last season. And they just added James Cook, a nice, elusive running back to this lineup. Now they got Devin Singletary, they got Zach Moss, and now they got James Cook. So that's a trio, a nice trio of running backs, one of the better trios in the league. And I know Devin Singletary is coming in this with a little pressure on his shoulders because his last outing against the Chiefs, he did not do good at all. He had 10 carries for 26 yards, only averaged 2.6 yards a carry against his Chiefs team, which is another reason why they lost. It was all up to Josh Allen and his arm. And that was a big game for Gabriel Davis. He scored 4 touchdowns. But a lot of them touchdowns was wide open defensive breakdowns from the Chiefs. There was one where he juked, and man, it was a nasty juke, got him wide open. Gabriel Davis has really came up this season. I really like what I've seen from him. I don't like what I've seen from the Bills receivers, though, especially what they did to their receiving core. Last year, they had Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley. Emmanuel Sanders played 14 games for this Bills team. Cole Beasley played 16 games for this Bills team. No more Cole Beasley, no more Emmanuel Sanders. Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had done stepped up to the plate plenty of times. I don't have no questions for Stephon Diggs. As far as Gabriel Davis, he did have a big game against the Chiefs, but besides that, maybe 1 or 2 games he had an outburst. I really haven't seen too much of him, to say he's really a top 15, top 20 receiver in this league. And Isaiah McKenzie, I really like what I've seen from Isaiah McKenzie, but he's still young. I don't know if he's gonna be, because I really like Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders, but they still got Dawson Knox. So offensively, the Bills is still really good offensively. Josh Allen, the quarterback, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, James Cook, the trio running backs, Stephon Diggs on the outside, Gabriel Davis on the other side, Isaiah McKenzie, and unless they do a two wide receiver tight end with Dawson Knox. I really like Dawson Knox. And the thing about, the difference between Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford, to me, is Josh Allen just got the better advantage when it comes to running the ball. I feel like the Rams are really going to have to contain Josh Allen, because if you give Josh Allen time, especially with receivers like Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis, when they get down the field, they're so good at just readjusting the routes at a moment's notice. And if you give him extra time when he gets out the pocket, if he extends a lot of plays with his legs in this game, I can easily see the Bills winning this game. But the Bills did acquire Von Miller on the defensive side. That's a plus. They got Von Miller. It's just really hard for me to have the Bills favored in this spot, especially with Tre'Davious White not playing in this game. Tre'Davious White's a top 5 cornerback in this league, top 10 cornerback, especially top 10 how you view it. Some people got him 6th, 7th, maybe 8th. Top 10 definitely. And Andre Smith, he just got suspended. And I'm not saying Andre Smith is a big deal in this game, but, without Andre Smith, you got to start Terrell Bernard. And, Terrell Bernard is a 3rd-round draft pick. I'm not for sure how well he's gonna play in this game. I watched his little rookie debut videos and I watched some highlights on him, and he's really quick, man. He got a fast edge, and he did really good against some bigger people in the college football. He used his speed to his advantage. So, he's a little speedster right there. He's 6'1", 224 pounds. I do think he's smaller compared to some of these linemen in the National Football League. And the Bills really got the same defense. Otherwise, just the two cornerbacks that's playing. Dane Jackson, a young cornerback, 5'11", 180 pounds, and Kaiir Elam, 6'1", 191 pounds. He's only 21 years old. I really like what I seen from Kaiir Elam in the preseason, but he's 6'1", 191 pounds. He's still 21 years old. And he's going to have to line up against receivers like Cooper Kupp, 208, 6'2". Allen Robinson, 6'2", 210 pounds. People really got to look at these matchups, especially with Allen Robinson. If Dane Jackson lines up against Allen Robinson, I know Allen Robinson didn't have enough time to develop the chemistry in his offense, especially under Sean McVay. But this offense is a special type of offense. They're not just going to have Cooper Kupp lined up in one spot. It's going to be a lot of motion. It's going to be a lot of switching. Cooper's going to be in the slot. Cooper Kupp's going to be on the outside. They might even do a stretch with Cooper Kupp, a toss. Their offense is just so dynamic. So Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson are just two big receivers, and Kaiir Elam and Dane Jackson is both on the littler side. But you ain't really got too much to worry about when you got two safeties and Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. And with this Bills defense, that's the reason why this Bills was #1 in defense last year. But when you got a rookie cornerback at 21 years old, only 190, and then Dane Jackson, who hasn't played too much, at 180 pounds, if he goes up against Allen Robinson got a 30-pound weight advantage and a 3-4 inch height advantage. So a quick slant, even screens. Sean McVay is a smart coach. I think he's the smarter coach. I like the Bills coach, though. I really like the Bills coach. I just like the way Sean McVay has run his offense. Matthew Stafford, 4,886 yards. I really like the Bills defense. Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Von Miller. That's some of the all-stars on defense. I just feel like without Tre'Davious White, there are going to be some holes in that defense. Like the Rams, you really can't find too many holes in their defense. You could say offensively that, Van Jefferson ain't playing. But I was watching some tape on Brandon Powell, and I really like him as a receiver. He's got ninth length to him. He can jump up and grab that ball just like Allen Robinson when he jumps up and grab that ball. And they still got Tyler Higbee, and they just came off a Super Bowl championship, and I know they lost Von Miller, but they acquired Bobby Wagner, which, to me, Bobby Wagner brings more of a coverage type than coverage attribute to this defense that Von Miller couldn't bring. Von Miller's more rush the passer, stiff you up at the line of scrimmage, cut you off at the edge, and man, I know Von Miller done played for both teams, and Von Miller probably got some stuff up his sleeve with this Bills team. It's just going to hard to beat the Rams at the Rams. They're going to be hoisting their flag, and it might even give the Bills some motivation, but I know that game is still stuck in their head, the Chiefs game. Patrick Mahomes went for 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Chiefs as a unit ran for 6.7 yards an attempt on the ground. And the Chiefs ain't even no running team. They almost averaged 7 yards a carry. Even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he averaged 8.6 yards a carry that game. The Bills, to me, just acquiring Von Miller wasn't enough. They need more run stoppers. They got Daquan Jones. He only had 1 sack last season. Ed Oliver, he's still young, 24. I really like how Ed Oliver played. He had 4 sacks, 29 solo tackles. He's 6'1", 287. They acquired Von Miller. They still Greg Rousseau is gonna step up. He's been on the second, third string type of guy for this roster, but the Bills had to let go of some people, so now Greg Rousseau is about to step up. And man, I really like this defense. I just don't know who else is gonna step up. Like, I know Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. I know they're one of the 2 best safeties, but if the Rams can't go over the top. The Rams got a nice running game, too, with Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson Jr. I feel like they got a way better running game than the Chiefs. I just feel like the Rams is going to come with an offensive offensive strategy that's just going to really be hard to beat them. You know, the Bills with Tre'Davious White out, I just feel like they don't have enough on defense to show up what the Rams got on defense. You know, the Rams got a Sean Robinson, you know, who did pretty good last season straight out of Alabama. He only had 2 sacks. But people like Greg Gaines, who had 4.5 sacks, Aaron Donald, 12.5 sacks, Leonard Floyd, 9.5 sacks. You know, this is a strong defensive group, even without Von Miller. And, you know, in my opinion, Von Miller really thrived when he had somebody else on the defensive line that was a superstar that the team really had to worry about. And I just feel like the Bills don't have nobody on the front end that's really a superstar with Von Miller that they can worry about. You know, the Rams can really shut Von Miller off and focus everything on Von Miller. Somebody else is going to have to step up in this game to get in Matthew Stafford's face. Because Cooper Kupp's, in my opinion, the best route runner in the league. He don't really have the speed like Tyreek Hill, but with his route running ability, he has been dealing with double coverages all season long. You know, he got the triple crown as a receiver. You know, I understand that people think that the Rams could, you know, be sitting on their heels, and if the Bills win this game, it wouldn't surprise me. But, you know, looking at everything they got, you know, the Rams really got the same team. You know, look at their defense. I mean, they got a couple people. The youngest person in their defense, you know, was really Ernest Jones, linebacker. But he played last year, too, and he played that whole playoff run. He had 7 total tackles in the Super Bowl. You know, and Taylor Rapp, 7 total tackles in the Super Bowl. And they acquired Bobby Wagner. They got Justin Hollins still, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, you know, Leonard Floyd. I just feel like they got the people in the right spot. You know, down at the defensive lineman, you got Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald. You go to the linebacker position, you got Bobby Wagner. You go back to the cornerbacks and safeties, you got Jalen Ramsey. It feels like every attribute of their defense got a guy with experience, a guy with some of the best talent in the league, and a guy that's just a good leader, you know, that can lead the role players in every aspect. As in, you know, the Buffalo Bills, you know, you got Von Miller on the line. You know, but who's really at the line? Like, I like Tremaine Edmonds, but in my opinion, he's still really young in this league. You know, I like what Matt Milano did, but I just feel like, you know, linebacker, I can't put Tremaine Edmonds in the same talk as Bobby Wagner. I just can't. You know, some people might be able to, you know, but in my opinion, I just can't put him in the same conversation as Bobby Wagner. You know, and Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, they're just, you know, they're good, you know, but are they Jalen Ramsey good? You know, Jalen Ramsey did give up some big plays in the Super Bowl, and there was some bad calls from both sides. But, you know, looking at both aspects, I feel like the Bills' offense is going to bring it. You know, I feel like the wide receiver core, the Bills do got an edge, considering that they got that third Isaiah McKenzie, who's done had some playing time and got experience. You know, we really don't know what we're going to see too much from Brandon Powell. But, you know, Allen Robinson, you know, if he's got the chemistry down, and Cooper Kupp, you know, Cooper Kupp already been with Matthew Stafford. You know, this could be a hell of a game. You know, the Rams, if they could shut down Josh Allen, you know, I feel like the Rams might blow out the Bills here. As much as I really want to fade the Rams, you know, and just take the Bills, because it really does seem like a Cinderella story. The Bills lost to the Chiefs, and they come back, beat the Super Bowl champions to show everybody how good they are. And maybe when their team comes really together and there's less injuries and they really get a better defensive core, that'll really be understanding. But, you know, they got really good safeties, and their defensive line, you know, I just don't know how good their defensive line is going to be. I mean, I know they got Von Miller, but, you know, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Daquan Jones, I just don't know who the other big guy, even Ed Oliver. I do like Ed Oliver, but Ed Oliver's not an Aaron Donald. Ed Oliver's not a Leonard Floyd. You know, who you going to guard? And as the Bills coming into this game, what are you going to do with Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd on the mound? You know what I'm saying? You got Greg Gaines, who almost had 5 sacks as well. You know, when you covering 2 guys, you got these other guys that can come, and, you know, they got Sean Robinson, who hasn't got a lot of playing time, but he had 2 sacks, and he's big. He's bigger than anybody on the Rams line, and he's bigger than anybody on the Bills line. At 6'4", 330 pounds, you know, with all your focus on Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, I think that big man can get some work done in this game. I know I've been talking a lot in this video, but I just want to give every aspect that I got in this game. You know, the Bills really didn't do too much difference on the offensive side, but, you know, no Emmanuel Sanders, no Cole Beasley. They got no more John Feliciano. Cody Ford's back. Mitch Morse is back. No more Darrell Williams. You know, we're going to see how Ryan Bates start. I really like Ryan Bates. He was a backup center last year for the Bills. Now he's in this offensive group starting. So we're gonna see how he works out against a guy like Aaron Donald, against a guy like Leonard Floyd, because they're gonna be putting these guys everywhere. Sean McVay in this defensive group, it's not just going to be guy here, guy here. Like, they're going to change it up. And I'm pretty sure the Bills will change it up as well. But I just got to give the edge to the Rams. I got, for somebody that really want to make some money like me, I'm going to drop a couple hundred on myself and take the Rams on the plus money at plus 115. Super Bowl chance, baby. And in the past 9 years, they 8-1. I really like that Rams on the plus money. I'm going to drop a couple hundred on that myself. But if you're really kind of nervous in the Rams on the plus money, I got a better odd. Don't take the Rams plus 2.5. Take them plus 3.5. Do an alternate spread at negative 150. You still get a really good price at plus 3.5, negative 150. You can drop you some money on that too. If the Bills win, I think the Bills just win by a field goal. As much as I want to back up the Bills, I just simply can't. There's too many holes in their defense. I think the Rams are going to take over, especially with them two young cornerbacks, two little cornerbacks at that. Cooper Kupp got 30 pounds on Dane Jackson. Allen Robinson got 30 pounds on that boy. They got 20 pounds on Khair Elam. And they both taller than, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like the matchup shows really at the wide receiver position. As much as the Bills got good running backs, as much as the Bills done got Von Miller, I don't think it's enough. But I'm going to take the Rams on the plus money. And that's my pick with Big Zay, Sports Picks with Big Zay. And if you're a little nervous, take the Rams plus 3.5. Just in case the Bills do win by 3 if you were a little nervous. But me, I'm riding with the Rams all the way. I like the Rams on the plus money, baby. This has been Sports Picks with Big Zay. Y'all take care.